know the whole story, but I know that one is trying, and I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he responds to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed, and I understand that because life happens. But we gotta. It's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business, and that's what we got to do better as right now because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know the whole.
All right. That is not a good answer. Brandon Graham. Okay. Brandon Graham did not do a good job in that interview because all of that is true. Most likely, most definitely. He's going to know better than anyone. But to say that out loud, man, I know Brandon Graham is eventually going to be probably have a media career and be awesome, right? I could see him on First Things First, The Herd, ESPN, any of those shows. I could see him being a guest on, any of that type of stuff. Obviously has a lot of charisma, energy, ear to ear smile, right? A legend, especially for Philly. And now he's injured, so he's kind of got like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But yeah, this this is not a good answer to give by any stretch of the imagination for multiple reasons. Because I ripped AJ Brown for saying what he said. Because I was like, man, keep it in. Don't be airing out grievances to the media. You know, and now Brandon Graham is saying this because now this is more that AJ Brown is now going to have to address and talk about. Same thing with Jalen Hurts. Same thing with Nick Sirianni. Same thing with any other player who's going to be interviewed. They're going to ask Jason Kelsey now as well. You know, they're just going to ask everyone. What happened with Hurts and AJ? What happened? What happened? What happened? And it's gonna be a whole conversation about it, and you know they're gonna say, "Is that what happened last year? Was that what the supernatural funk was?" And it's gonna be that whole continuous firestorm. Now I'm getting this video out right now, posting it tonight because this just happened. I know they're gonna talk about it on the Herd and First Things First. And I'm definitely gonna talk about it too. I don't know what tomorrow is gonna look like. I recorded a bunch of videos that will be posting ahead of time because I actually got traffic court for nonsense. So I don't know what tomorrow is gonna look like for me in terms of getting some of these clips out. So not too excited about that. It'll either be a victory or a loss for me tomorrow. We will we will find out. But I'm fascinated to see what they're gonna say tomorrow because, like I said, we know they're gonna talk about this on the Herd and First Things First, without a doubt, without a doubt. Now, to be clear, for the Eagles as a whole, I do not think this will be a big deal. I think this is going to be obnoxious and annoying to deal with. And like I said, they're going to ask all the questions. They're going to ask Sirianni, and Sirianni's not going to be giving great answers. He's going to be fumbling over his words, and Hurts is going to be really short and be like, nope. And AJ is, who knows what AJ is going to say, and it's going to be frustrating. But in terms of on the field production and all of that and what needs to be done, I think what I've loved about Jalen Hurts this season more than any other season, he has not been a perfect quarterback. He has absolutely made mistakes, misreads, bad throws, all that, just like every other quarterback. But what I love about him this year more than ever is that he's really not forcing the ball. He's not playing in a way that he thinks he's supposed to or needs to play. He's not playing to appease fans. He's not playing in a way to appease AJ Brown because that's not his job. His job is to not make AJ Brown happy. Hopefully, First Things First has Greg Jennings on tomorrow as well. I'd love to get Greg's perspective on this. And I think, again, I can't speak on what things have changed and all of that, but I think AJ Brown is one of those players, one of those friends who can be just loyal to the core, will have your back, ready to go, all hands on deck. But the moment he stops getting what he wants, things can kind of break. That's my read on the situation, because again, here's the perfect, we see this unfolding. We saw him carrying on in 2022 when they were literally on their way to a Super Bowl because he wasn't getting them, to the point where Nick Sirianni had to come over and console him. Like, they were rolling their way to the Super Bowl, and yet they needed to console A.J. Brown. That is never a good look. Never a good look. And we could see moments like this, and that's why you even saw Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham's like, Jalen Hurts is trying. AJ needs to do more. And yet, here we are. And again, there's no like easy solution or easy answer to the resolution. One, because we don't know what happened. And two, it's just different personalities. It's kind of funny. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown are fundamentally different people in terms of personalities, which is often what happens when how you become friends with people. You find complement. It's like anything. Friendship is complementary, just like dating, right? It's a complementary relationship. A lot of extroverted have introverted friends. A lot of introverted friends have extroverted friends. Just the way it is. And so in terms of like figuring this all out, it's tough. And we've seen, this is a story that we've seen 10,000 times in the NFL. Disgruntled wide receiver angry at his quarterback. We've seen this so many times. And it's an unfortunate reality, and specifically for the Eagles, who are in first place in the division, competing for the number 1 seed, home field advantage, and first round bye. Like, there's real things. And now when they play the Steelers, when they play any game, they're going to talk about this. When Jalen Hurts throws a ball to A.J. Brown, they'll say, well, that's not going to make A.J. any happier to Jalen, towards Jalen Hurts. He really missed him on that route. Or when he makes a great throw and A.J. has a catch, they're like, well, that goes a long way to rekindle their friendship or something, whatever it is. Like, we're just going to hear all that nonsense now. And it's going to be annoying. But they brought it on themselves. And that's why A.J. Brown needed to just say the right thing when he was being interviewed. I talked about that interview before, and so I'm not going to rehash that whole thing. But this is the perfect example. How many times have you said something in your life when you're just like, oh my God, my day, my week, my month, my life would have been so much easier if I just didn't say what I said. I mean, if I just didn't say what I said and do what I did, man, I would have really avoided so much of a headache. And all A.J. Brown needed to say was, when they said, hey, how do you feel about all this? What's wrong with the offense? He just didn't have to give the answer that he gave. And then none of this happens. But he's obviously annoyed. He's obviously angry and upset. And it's just not the way you do it. You just don't. It's just not the way you do it. That's not hard to understand. I think the way how other people could relate to this a little bit better, because they're obviously not, most people who are watching this are probably not NFL wide receivers, I guess. If you are, definitely let me know. Let's talk. But it reminds me of like social media, because most people have social media. And it's like if you get in a fight with someone and you put it on social media. And you put them on blast, and it's not like that's exactly what A.J. Brown did, because he wasn't like, Hurts needs to be better and this and that. But he was putting it down. There's a reason why Brandon Graham said what he said. There's a reason why this is all unfolding. And so just don't do it. Just don't do it. And this is where someone came at me when I said this, and they're like, oh, you want A.J. Brown just to be a robot? What? He gets paid, he's telling the truth. He's just telling the truth. He doesn't get paid to tell the truth. He gets paid to be a man. And people said, oh, but now you're questioning his manhood. Right. That's what that sentence means. That's what that statement means. He gets paid to be a grown-up in the room. He gets paid millions upon millions upon millions upon millions, one more, upon millions of dollars. You're supposed to be able to control your emotions. Any job, I learned this in elementary school. The vast majority of jobs out there, you are being paid to control your emotions, especially when you're dealing with other people. Whether you work in sales, whether you work in retail, you work at McDonald's, you work no matter where you work at, you're getting paid. Part of that money that you get paid, whether it's $10 an hour or $1 million an hour, you're getting paid to manage your emotions. When a customer says, you gave me the wrong order, you really want to say, no, you told me the wrong order. But you're getting paid to say, oh no, I'm so sorry. That's part of it. And that's why this is one of my favorite clips for it. This is from Mad Men. I think about this all the time with professional athletes. All the time.
It's your job. I give you money, you give me ideas.
And you never say thank you.
That's what the money is for.
Exactly. That's what the money's for. To grow up and be a man, to be a teammate, to be a leader of the team. That's why you get paid so much money. Grow up. My goodness, it's honestly outrageous. It's absurd. It's insanity. It's not a matter of being a robot or not telling the truth. Your job is to not tell the truth in the locker room to the media. That's not how this works. That's not why you get paid all the money that you get paid. It's not just about production on the field. We know that. People lose their jobs for their decisions off the field. So don't tell me that it's just about on the field. We know that. Go ask all the players, all the people who have lost their careers, who have gotten suspended, who have had all these issues, fines, whatever it may be, for stuff that they've done off the field. This is an extension of that. The defense of some of these players that I see from fans is bonkers to me. It really is. It's bonkers. Oh, A.J. Brown was just telling the truth. He was just telling the way how he saw it. That's not his job. Not his job. Not why he gets paid the massive amount of money that he gets paid. And don't conflate this with a shut up and dribble type mentality. It's not that either. It's called representing the team. It's called being a good teammate. Being a good ambassador for the Philadelphia Eagles. Not airing out your dirty laundry. Not sulking like a little baby after you've just won another game, clinched a playoff spot, pretty much have the division locked up. And again, you want to be like a baby. Then, and this is what I said before, and someone was like, oh yeah, so you want to trade AJ? That's not what I'm saying, but if you're going to be a baby, it's like, where else do you want to go? Where are all the teams that you think that you're just going to be living young and fast and making all the money, catching every single ball under the sun? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Have some gratitude that you're playing for the Philadelphia Eagles that have instantly made you relevant, that have paid you an insane amount of money, that have gotten you to a Super Bowl. You aren't getting there with the Tennessee Titans. You certainly weren't. So it's just absurd at this point. It really, really, really is. And the defense of some of these interviews and some of these comments makes zero sense to me. Truly zero sense to me. They get paid to do a job, just like I'm sure everyone who's watching this video. It's part of the job. Part of the job is to be a good teammate. Part of the job is to give the right answers at the microphone, at the podium. Part of the job is to manage your emotions. hey, what do you think's been going on with the Philadelphia Eagles? How does it feel that the offense hasn't been humming along? What do you think the problem is? Oh, I don't think there's any problems. I think, of course, we could play better. We can always improve. You know, Saquon has just been on fire lately as well. And Jalen Hurts, we know that he's always so deadly with his legs. Obviously, being the wide receiver, I take a lot of pride in contributing. I always want to have 100+ yards and 4 touchdowns. Ha ha ha. You know, pause for laughter. But, you know, I know every game can't be that way. Kellen Moore's been doing an awesome job coming up with a great game plan. We got away came away with the win. Obviously, we would like it to be a little bit easier. But you know what? We're going to watch them film, continue going on, and see what happens. It's not that hard, man. It's really not that hard. But no, you got to go passing. Throw more. Me, baby. Just absurd. It is. And it's so funny that so many people don't want to hold something like that accountable. And it doesn't make any sense. Because you should. You should call those types of things out. Because everyone else gets held to those standards. And in any other profession, they get reprimanded. They get in trouble. They get fired. They get demoted. You can't just say and do whatever you want. I wish, man. Honestly, I do. Are you kidding me? When I had a boss that pretty much gave me permission to like not be unconditionally nice to customers. I worked at a parking garage and I was like, oh my God. Yes. Like he essentially gave me the power to defend myself rather than just say, And I was like, let's go. Like, bring it on. Let's do this. But in hindsight, it was actually bad. You know, like honestly, it was actually bad. He should have just said, hey, man, you got to just always keep your cool, always be smart, always be collected. I understand some of these customers are going to say awful things towards you and all of this. It doesn't matter. Their opinions do not matter. Just let it go. You don't make enough money to have to deal with any of this. Just let it go. That would actually have probably been the appropriate response. The Eagles just have to be smarter. AJ Brown has to be smarter. He has to grow up. He has to mature. Brandon Graham, I think Brandon Graham, like I said, he's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's like half retired. I think he should have been a little bit better at that. It's not his spot, his position, his place to start airing that stuff out. So, yeah. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day because I imagine this will be a top story for sure. When you have a top team in the NFL and the quarterback and the wide receiver of said team are not getting along, yeah, that's going to be a story. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the whole AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts debacle and Brandon Graham airing out some dirty laundry? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.